Okay, so what we'll do, there isn't really any need for me to log out, but I'll sign out anyway, but this isn't really going to make any difference. So what I'm going to now do, I'm basically just going to, I'm going to revert. So I'm going to say, revert, please. Then we're going to power up this virtual machine again. Yeah, that's normal because basically it's turned around and told me that I've actually basically shut the machine down. So here we go. We're going to log in again. Okay, typical, you know, now Windows 11 has gone off and found some updates from somewhere. But we're going to log in again. Now, of course, all those changes that we've done, of course, they will have disappeared. So see what I'm going to do. Let's just get an RDP session into this and we just expand it a bit better. Okay, so same again. We've got an RDP session into the Windows 11 machine. And there we go again. After we've reverted, we've got the 47.29 gigabit C partition, the OS partition. We've got the recovery partition at 604 meg in the middle there, and we've got the 16 gig unallocated at the end because we basically reverted. So snapshots are working and they are beneficial for some things. Okay, so what we're going to now do, we're going to run the other utility now. We're going to run the EaseUS Free Partition Manager. So same again. I'm just going to go off to my NAS. Can't find it that time. Oh, hang on. That's because I put a space in. Hopefully it'll find that and we can log into that. The only reason I've done this really is to ensure that the tools are actually basically on the NAS. I could have put them on the server before I actually basically did the snapshot, but I didn't. And if they're on the NAS, they're going to be on there forever, and I'm going to be able to find them in the future. So the next one we're going to install is the EPM free installer, and I must have been out of the two. Despite the fact that it didn't actually work on the server version, but when we did the server, when we tried to use this product on the server version, I like the method. I liked the mechanism whereby if I didn't really know what I was doing, in the, of course, to shuffle the partitions around, of course, we've got our operating system partition, we've got the recovery partition in the middle, and then we've got our unallocated space on the end. And to shuffle that around and to expand the C drive, C partition, we've actually got to move the recovery partition to the end of the disk and then expand the operating system partition into the unallocated portion of the disk. That's the procedure. But using this particular tool, it does some of that donkey work for us. So we don't really have to understand what needs to move to do it. In the last version, when I used it, I just actually basically went on to the operating system partition and said, please expand that into the new space on the disk. It then had a little look at the layout, and it actually basically guessed what steps it needed to do to actually basically complete that operation. Which I think for the uninitiated, I still don't like that where it goes off and has to reach out and track you at the website. I don't like that. But anyway, I think between the two, I prefer this version rather than the old version. And I think that, you know, for those that are cautious and really not quite sure of what the procedure requires and whether or not they're going to make a complete hash of it, I think I prefer this version. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. We've got a nice layout of the disk again. So this is our recovery partition. This is our operating system partition, and this is our unallocated space, the 16 gig at the end. And we want to expand our C disk using that free space, and we want to move that to the end of the disk. Now, traditionally, we would say resize move. and we would basically take that and we'd move that all the way down to the end of the disk, and we'd click OK. So it would move that down to the end of the disk, and then we would come up here and we would actually basically do resize and resize it. But when we looked at this before, what we're able to do is just turn around and go, well, just resize that for me, please. Okay, so now it's actually popped up and says free version allows you to resize one partition at a time. Upgrade now to enjoy the features. So I wonder if that means that it can't do that. Anyway, just let me click OK. So I'm going to click OK. Execute one operation. So I'm going to execute one operation. Okay. So it's worked out that it needs to do 2 steps to complete this operation, but that's fine because we didn't really know, and we didn't move that recovery partition to the end and then actually basically expand that operating system partition. So if I click apply, okay, so now it's actually basically telling me that the free version So for some strange reason, for home version, upgrade to Pro to enjoy all these features. I'll tell you something, these applications drive me round the bend. Now, was it because it was saying that it would only do one partition move? For business? Nope. For home? Well, clearly it's not going to allow me to do anything, and it wants to actually basically ask me to put in a license code. So, okay, let's just go back and see whether or not that it will allow me to remove the recovery partition. So let's just say resize move, drag that up there, and click OK. Now, can I execute apply? Okay, so that's operating. Now this is interesting, this isn't actually rebooting our server to do this. This is actually doing it live. So again, okay, so that's actually moved it to the end of the disk. No, I don't really want to rate you, thank you. So is that now basically going to allow us to manipulate and grow? Let's have a little look. So now I actually basically want to grow that and click OK. Execute one operation followed by apply. Okay. So it would have been nice to have had to have done it in one process. But clearly, if we want those features, we've got to pay for them. As my grandfather said, nothing is free in life. Somebody is paying for it somewhere. Thanks, Grandad. Okay, so click finish. So I think we're done. I think we are done. So I've not activated it. This is still operating freely. Don't want to upgrade. No, thank you. Let's have a little look at disk management again. And have a little look at where we are. Okay, QED done. Our 650 meg recovery partition at the end, although interestingly it doesn't actually say recovery anymore, so I'm not too sure whether or not that this process has balked that. It just says 604 meg, but it has actually basically expanded our partition there. So there you go. Comparing the software products, EaseUS or EaseUS and AOMEI, clearly they don't work on Windows Server editions. You're going to have to spend some money. You can use them on Windows 10, Windows 11 with limited functionality. And I think comparing these two products side by side, I think the first product maybe comes at slightly better. I don't know. I don't like them anyway, really, to be honest with you. I much preferred G-parted live CD-ROM. But I'll leave that up to you. You've got 3 products there on the table that you can use. So if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, then give it a thumbs down and tell me why. But whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe And my name is Andrew Hancock at Hancock's VMware Half Hour, and come back soon for another video by me. And I think we'll look at the old favorite VMware vCenter converter, and we'll do a partition. We'll do an expanding the disk and the operating system at one time, because VMware vCenter converter is going to do all the heavy lifting for us, and it's not going to touch our original VM. Anyway, so come back soon and we'll do that. Thanks so much now. It's a gorgeous day here, and happy Easter. Goodbye.